Eat your man, devour him whole.
Eat Your Man is out now on all platforms. Haven't put new music out since 2017, and just like that, this happened. Enjoy Eat Your Man. It was made with 100% pleasure. Yep, Nelly Furtado is back after a 6-year hiatus, but for most, it's been longer than that. So her last album, The Ride, did come out in 2017.
So don't sell me no pipe dreams.
But only 1,800 people listened during its opening week. So for more people, they haven't heard music from Nelly since 2012, when she dropped her The Spirit Indestructible album. But only 6,000 people checked out that album during its opening week, despite her having a high-profile performance of the first single Big Hoops on the Billboard Music Awards that year. While Nelly didn't say she was indestructible, she did dismiss the low album sales back then, calling herself bulletproof, because in the past, she might seem dead on arrival, but usually give her time and her albums are resurrected. Well, it turned out not even the stellar third single Parking Lot could save that album, so for most, they haven't heard Nelly Furtado music since 2006. That's when she dropped Loose, and she references one of that album's hits on Eat Your Man.
I say it right, now do what I say.
Rarely does a fourth single from an album go number one, but Say It Right did just that. It was Nelly's second number one off that album after Promiscuous.
Pay attention to me, I don't talk for my health.
I want you on my team.
So does everybody else.
Featuring Timbaland, who also co-wrote and co-produced the majority of the album.
Promiscuous, oh, you already know.
I went through the lyrics of Promiscuous, and I don't think there's any reference to it in Eat Your Man, but Nelly does reference her Grammy-winning debut single from 23 years ago.
I'm like a bird, I only fly away. I like a bird, I'm taking it home.
I was pretty sure those were the only two song references in this comeback track for Nelly, but then, the title.
I walk in the door, you start screaming. I'll eat your man, devour him whole. Maneater, make you work hard.
Different phrasing, but Maneater was the third single off Loose, and 17 years later, Nelly is ready for you to consume her music again with a little encouragement from Drake. After being his surprise guest at his OVO event last summer, Nelly tells Variety yesterday, "We had some deep conversations about life and art, and he blew up my head, reminding me what a valuable artist I am and told me to boss up and make new music, and I listened." So she has been working on a new album for the past year, telling Variety, "I'm making a pop album influenced by sounds that I love." But first is Eat Your Man, produced by Dom Dolla, and since this is on his YouTube, I don't think it's meant to be seen as Nelly's first single off her upcoming album. I think it's just meant to be an appetizer, so to speak, or get our palates ready for Nelly Again. So Dom tells Variety the idea behind the track was to make an amalgamation of all of Nelly's hits, but take it to the club.
Blood on the floor, I'm pushing the pain. I let the creatures out of the cage.
And that's what this is. I've always been a big fan of Nelly. Like, she was one of the most unique and brave artists in the pop world, 25 years ago. While we see a lot more of it now, Nelly was one of the first mainstream artists to bring international sounds into the North American pop music world. And sometimes that meant that her music didn't click with North American audiences. But I've also found her extremely frustrating in that she doesn't keep hitting when the iron is hot. Her debut album, Well Nelly, was a big hit, but then people wrote her off as a one-trick pony after her second album, Folklore, while it's a fantastic album, didn't produce a big hit. Then, in a rare occurrence in the pop world, not only did her third album produce hits, it was her biggest album ever, selling 10 million copies. So she got this rare chance to be a big, huge pop star again. What does she do? She disappears and waits 6 years to come back with her next English language album, which is pretty much an eternity in the pop music world, so it wasn't a big surprise that people had moved on by then. Will Eat Your Man make people move on back? I think it's a solid couple steps in the right direction. This isn't a showcase for Nelly Furtado. She's talk singing the whole time and just repeating the same verse over and over again. It's a pure dance track, but it does its job. It's frivolous, but it gets you moving. And using the titles of Nelly's past hits in the lyrics are a clever way of referencing her catalog without, using the actual songs. But yeah, what do you think of Eat Your Man? Does it intrigue you about what else Nelly has coming down the pipe?